I believe I am live. Happy Monday. It is Mindset Monday, and today's topic is continuous learning and growth. And this is actually really timely. This was meant to be a couple of weeks ago, and then, as some of you know, my mother-in-law passed away. And so last week I was at her services in Omaha, Nebraska, and then the second half of the week, I was scheduled to present at DevLearn. And so this is perfect to talk about continuous learning and growth. So that is our Mindset Monday, is the importance of lifelong learning and personal development. And so I want to draw your attention back to August 19th. August 19th, you can go back and you can search the Mindset Mondays and you can find that one. It was all around setting and achieving goals. And we are coming to the end of 2024. And so as you think about what you're really trying to achieve in 2025, whatever those goals might be, today's topic around continuous learning and growth really fits into that. So there are some research-based reasons for continuous learning. There are really kind of four areas that we want to focus on or that we can talk about. The first one is neuroplasticity. So when you engage in continuous learning and learning activities, that promotes neuroplasticity, which is the brain's ability to recognize itself by forming new neural connections. So anytime you are starting to learn something new, it's an opportunity to do some of those things. Hi, Teresa. Great to see you. The second reason we want to have continuous learning is really just mental resilience. I was just on a call. I teach a year-long leadership program for a client, and we are in our 10th year. And so as part of that 10 years, we're really taking a look at how the program has evolved over the past 10 years, and then getting feedback from our participants on things that they think we should keep, things they think we should change, their experience, some of them 10 years later, 5 years later, depending on what cohort they were with. And it really is this opportunity to talk about their own career advancement, their own self-esteem and confidence, but also their mental resilience. And it is in the industry of real estate, and real estate has sort of had a boom during the pandemic, and then has hit, because of high interest rates, has hit a slowdown in terms of their industry. And so, the second reason, or research-based reason, for continuous learning is really that mental resilience. It cultivates this resilience that you have by regularly challenging your brain. And studies suggest that continuous intellectual activity can increase your mental resilience over time, making it easier to handle stress as it comes to you and adapt to change. And I have to say, when I look at my last 8 weeks of my life, I've gone through a couple of deaths. I've gone through a friend who had a double mastectomy, and life's been hard. But I have been able to have this mental resilience because I'm able to handle that stress differently, because I'm constantly trying to learn and improve myself. The third research-based reason for continuous learning is career advancement. This is a Danny opinion, but I think we're going to see some job movement invoked by employees on the employee side in January. I think people are kind of holding on to the positions that they have right now, but I think we're going to start to see some movement from employees in January. People are going to be looking for new opportunities. They're going to be looking to move. I'm seeing some companies that have decided to bring employees back into the office. The challenge with that is that a lot of people moved, and they don't live in the same city anymore as their organizations. And so I think you're going to start to see some movement. And so as you think about your goals, what do you want in your job market? What do you want to be doing? And keeping those skills up to date, whether it's networking here in this in this membership, whether it's, or this community, whether it's, networking with others at conferences, whether it's, continuing to learn on LinkedIn Learning, or reading a new book around professional development, I think that keeping your skills up to date can lead to better job opportunities, promotions within the organizations that you're already in, and the ability to adapt to new industries or roles that might present themselves. And then the fourth reason really, thanks, Teresa. The fourth reason is really improved self-esteem and confidence. In this call that I was just in, this focus group, we were talking about what's the biggest takeaway you had from the Ascend program. And two people specifically said, my biggest thing was confidence, having the confidence in themselves that they could take over their family businesses. So this is a succession leadership program. So often they are going to be taking over a CEO or leadership role within their organization to lead the organization. And learning those new skills really enhanced their self-esteem and their confidence that they could do it and that they were experts in the real estate industry. And then from a leadership perspective as well. So it can also just boost your overall mental health and well-being when you feel confident about yourself, when you have that self-esteem that I know I can do this, when you are not fighting this imposter syndrome. It really can help your own self-confidence in terms of your continuous learning. So when you think about research-based reasons for continuous learning, neuroplasticity, mental resilience, career advancement, and improved self-esteem and confidence. And I think as people who are in training and development, I think we naturally are lifelong learners. We love learning, not only helping others learn, but also ourselves as well. Yes, Teresa. So articulate's on your list to learn articulate. It's a great goal. And some strategies for continuous learning. So when you think about like, what am I going to learn in 2025? What are my goals? And then how do I align that learning to it? So number one, set your learning goals. Set specific measurable learning goals. Most of us know what SMART is and what SMART stands for. But whether it's mastering a new software tool or reading a certain number of books related to your field or that you want to grow your skills in, having clear goals can really provide direction and a sense of purpose. And I think this is so critical today, even more than it was even just 5 years ago, because we are inundated with information. And so I don't know about you, when I don't have that goal written down on paper, like I want to grow my skills in X area, right? And I've got a SMART goal written. I'm like a little like squirrel, and I can get really distracted really quickly. So what is that thing that I really, really want to achieve? And then how am I going to get there? So the goal is not that I want to learn articulate. The goal is I want to build my skills in a couple new software areas. And then it might be articulate, but how are you going to do that? I might take an articulate class. I might network with others who are using articulate. I might do some e-learning challenges to build my skills, but you can kind of start to focus on not just the what, which is the goal, but then the how. The second strategy is to diverse your learning resources. So promoting the use of various learning resources such as online courses, podcasts. If you're not listening to podcasts, there are lots of great podcasts out there to build your skills. Webinars. Training Magazine Network has, probably 4 to 6 webinars a day. So if there's something that you want to learn, they are a great resource to do that with. And then, of course, books. Asking this community to say, hey, I want to learn X. What books do you know that you would recommend, or what resources do you know that you would recommend? And then really sourcing the community on how they have learned that skill. It's so true, right? That trainers, we're like the contractor's house. We forget to improve our own, our own house and our own skills for sure. We're out there helping everyone else, and we forget to take care of ourselves. And so, really thinking about what is it that is going to propel us further. Number three, reflect regularly. So, set some time aside, maybe each week or each month, to sort of reflect on what you've learned. And one way to do this is just by blogging. So when we're kind of creating our list of blogs that we're going to write for the upcoming weeks, we really think about what's the work that we've done this month. What are the things that we've learned? I went to DevLearn this past week. The reason I present at conferences is so that I can attend the conferences, because you usually get a free pass to attend the conference. So while I still pay my way there, it's a great way for me to make sure that I'm staying up to speed on those new kind of emerging technologies and things like that. But really reflecting on what I've learned, and this is a great way for me to do that, is to share it with you. What have I learned this month? How am I applying that? And I always say use it or lose it. So if you do take some training, or you do read a great book, or you do take a great podcast or listen to a great podcast, what were the key things that you're going to go apply? Because if you don't go apply it, it really was a waste of time for you to even listen to it, unless you really just needed the motivation. And then number four, teaching others. So we know that a great way to practice our skills and to really deepen our own understanding is to share knowledge with others. And that can reinforce our learning, deepen our understanding, and then really explaining those new concepts to a friend or through a blog post or a podcast can also help us gain feedback and new insights when we teach someone else how to do something. So not just learning it for ourselves, but then teaching others. And then finally, number five, and the fifth strategy, is to schedule daily learning time. So whether that's before you start your day or whether it's during your work day, but 15 minutes to say, you know what, I'm going to block out 15 minutes every day to just go look at emerging AI technology, right? What are the AI tools that are out there? And I'm just going to I might spend 15 minutes on LinkedIn, and I'm just going to start perusing AI tools that people are talking about. Am I in LinkedIn groups where those conversations are happening? When I was at DevLearn last week, one thing that I noticed was it reminded me, as I walked through the expo, it reminded me of an expo of about 10 to 15 years ago. 10 to 15 years ago, when I would walk through an expo, every single booth was an LMS. Like every booth, that was the booth, was what LMS are you using? And what I've seen is some of them are no longer in business, and then others have gobbled up each other, right? So they've merged, they've been acquired, things like that. What I noticed this year is every booth was AI, and they all do all kinds of things. And so even just going to look, so if you go to DevLearn, the Learning Guild, and you look at DevLearn, you can see a list of all of the people who were in the expo. And then when you look at them, maybe you spend 15, 20 minutes just to research what that AI company does. But AI is changing the way that we create learning. I sat in on a session with Articulate, and they did kind of a deep dive into their AI features, both in Rise and in Storyline. And I learned some things. I had been kind of playing with it, like maybe 50%. I hadn't really dove in 100% and started playing around with it. And I was really trying to figure out if it was worth my money, because I have other AI tools that I use. And so, really taking the time, maybe you schedule a daily learning time where you spend a little time working on a e-learning challenge. If you go to Articulate's site, you can do an e-learning challenge every week that helps you practice skills in Storyline. Maybe it's 15, 20 minutes where you go research all the AI tools that allow you to create AI voiceover and kind of see what's out there. So, strategies for continuous learning. Number one, set your learning goals. Know what you're trying to achieve. Number two, diversify your learning resources. So maybe it's you go on a walk and you're listening to a podcast, and then in the morning you're reading for 15 minutes a book that it is professional development focused. Number three, reflect regularly. Number four, teach others. And number five, schedule daily learning. And I would love to know which strategies you're trying and which strategies are working for you. Let us be the place you can teach others. So if you've learned something and you want to teach others how to do it and practice those skills, use this community to do that. You are welcome to do that. So let's make learning part of our daily routine. I mean, we are creating learning for everyone else, but we have to take care of our own needs as well, in terms of our own mental fitness, if you will. So this week, commit to spending at least 30 minutes, maybe this week, maybe 15 minutes a day, exploring a new skill or area of interest. Share your progress with our community. Teach us something that you learned. And remember that every step forward is a step towards your personal and professional growth. So, we have an opportunity to grow together and become lifelong learners. And I can't wait to hear what you learn. So I hope you have a wonderful Monday. I feel like I'm kind of back on track. It's been a little bumpy the last 8 weeks of my life, but I don't travel again until 2025 as of now. So I'm super excited. My dog, I put away my suitcase like in the basement. Pretty much I've just had it open and I just keep refilling it, unfilling it, refilling it. And I actually took it to the basement. So she was pretty excited as well. So I can't wait to connect with you. We do have a couple of sessions this week because I had to reschedule last week. We've got one on Wednesday, one on Friday, really around needs analysis. We're going to talk about the action mapping a little bit, and those will be recorded. That's in our paid our VIP membership side. So if you need anything, please reach out, but I hope you have a wonderful Monday and have a wonderful week. And Teresa, it is time to breathe. Thank you. And I hope we can connect soon. Have a great day. Bye, everybody.